webinars, which are more in-depth presentations about trading strategies and trading methodologies using some of the tools that AutoCharters provides you. So today is just a general overview. It's not going to take very long. I don't like to let my webinars go over about 30 minutes. After about 30 minutes, I will stop and answer some questions. I won't answer your questions while I'm doing the presentation, because I want to try to concentrate on what I want to say. But then once the presentation, my presentation comes to an end, I will look at the chat screen and the questions section and answer some of the questions that you all may have asked me. Okay, so before we get going, just to give you a bit of a disclaimer that well, let me actually give you 30 seconds to actually read the disclaimer, but essentially it says that trading FX and over-the-counter instruments is high risk, and this presentation is not aimed at trying to get you to trade, and past performance is not indicative of future performance. It's more of an educational webinar, this. So this is me. That's a picture of me. Ilan Asbel, as I mentioned, I'm the CEO and co-founder of AutoChartist quite a few years ago. I have over 15 years of experience in technology, background in maths and computer science. I've been trading my own portfolio for probably close to 15 years. So I am relatively experienced in the market. So just a quick few words about OANDA. OANDA was established in 1995 with offices around the world in all the major centers around the world. It's regulated by numerous regulatory bodies all over the world, and obviously one of the largest providers of spot forex transactions globally. So that's the bit about OANDA, and without further ado, let me go directly into the AutoCharters platform and start talking to you about AutoCharters. So this is OANDA technical analysis powered by AutoCharters, and really the objective of this platform is to provide you, the trader, with two things. Really, the first thing is opportunities in the market, right? So it scans for trading opportunities, and the second thing is that it tries to assist you in setting stop loss and take profit levels once you've actually followed some opportunities. So again, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to show you and give you a brief background on a brief overview of what is going on. I see that I've got some permission issues with Stefan. Give me one moment, everyone. I just want to make him a panelist, just appropriate. Sorry about Stefan, I must have got the permissions wrong. Sorry everyone for the pause in that presentation. Okay, so as you open up the AutoCharters platform, you immediately would see a section called Trading Opportunities. It's the second tab on the top, and I've specifically actually skipped over the first section. I'll be getting into that in just a moment. And AutoCharters provides you with really what they call identification of support and resistance levels as your trading opportunities. And right now, I'm actually going to quickly skip ahead because it's a good opportunity for me to show you these little orange icons that I'm sure you can't miss on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side of the screen. These orange icons actually tell us that these are opportunities that AutoCharters has identified right now in the market for you, right? So these have come up right now, and that's why they're orange. They're orange because they are the latest support and resistance levels that AutoCharters has found right now. Okay, the ones which are without orange were obviously the previous round of identification. Right? So here's an example on CAD-JPY, and we click on that link, and we get the image for CAD-JPY. And we can quite clearly see there's a resistance level, which is the green line. There's the support level, which is the blue line. And we can very clearly see that this price is moving between support and resistance. And AutoCharters is, well, I guess you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out what AutoCharters is saying to you, right? So AutoCharters is saying to you that we think the price is moving towards this support level. Now, this is one type of examples which we call a swing trading example, or an emerging or approaching pattern. That means that the price is still actually trading between support and resistance. Right? Now, we have different types of opportunities at auto charters. Let's look at this example of Euro ORD. This Euro ORD example is different from the previous example, and that we can see here that the price has actually moved through the resistance level. Right? There was actually a breakout. Right? So let's switch to the previous example. This example, the lines are moving, the price is moving between the lines. In this example, the price has already broken through the lines, right? So there are really two, I guess for most traders, there are primarily two types of traders out there. There are statistical arbitrage traders, but other than professional traders, no one really trades statistical arbitrage. But for most people, like the man on the street, like you and I, there are two types of traders. The one is called a trend trader. The other is a swing trader. A trend trader really follows the whole saying, and I'm sure you've heard it all before, the trend is your friend. So a trend trader would be waiting for a breakout such as this, and then trade the trend. So what is a trend trader looking at? The trend trader is looking at this very long initial trend, this consolidation, and then a breakout at the end, right? And that means that, well, the theory is that the price will continue to move in the direction of the breakout, okay? A swing trader, on the other hand, we'll go back to the previous example, trades between the lines, right? So a swing trader is more prone to risk, higher risk trades, and very short-term trades, right? So a swing trader would, for example, go short on CAD JPY, or could potentially go short on CAD JPY in this example to take of this very short-term opportunity right now in the market. Okay, and while I was speaking there, auto charters has identified even more opportunities. So here's an opportunity of NZD JPY. Which I'm clicking on right now, and you can see that auto charters has identified support and resistance levels in the market for New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. Now, if you notice on the bottom of the screen over here, there's this little filter section here. What I do is I filter out what I want to and don't want to see in my results section. Okay, so I'll briefly explain to you the difference between completed and emerging patterns, right? That means it's trading between the lines, or it's actually broken through the lines. Furthermore, auto charters provides these levels as both horizontal support and resistance levels, as well as chart patterns. So here's some examples of horizontal support and resistance. So this is a resistance level identified by auto charters on the Singapore dollar. Right? So you can see two very distinct touching points over here on that level at 125.93, and auto charters has now noticed that the price is now moving towards that line. Okay, that's an emerging pattern for swing traders. Right? On the other hand, you have examples like this, such as this example in USD PLN, which is a bit of an exotic pair. But let me see if I can find a kind of a more mainstream pair. Nothing really much happening on the mainstream pairs right now. Okay, we'll stick with this example. You can see quite clearly that auto charters identified a resistance level on USD PLN, which has had a breakout, and we think it's going towards 3.0829. Okay, now you can kind of tick these boxes and untick these boxes depending on what you want to see, right? So if you want to see the chart patterns, then you just select the chart patterns information. You can also select Fibonacci patterns if you are a swing trader and you like to use Fibonacci. I personally don't use Fibonacci patterns or any kind of harmonic patterns in my trading. So when I give presentations, I just show you that it's there. I don't really understand them very well, and I don't like to talk about things that I don't really understand about. So I prefer to just kind of stick to the topics I know, which is, you know, the support and resistance levels. But certainly there's numerous harmonic patterns that auto charters identifies. What you can do over and above the given kind of default searches that you see on the left-hand side of the screen, for example, these opportunities on the CFD market or the commodities market, you can actually create your own list, right? So we can actually click on the new search button, and we can actually create our own portfolio, right? So we, for example, want to trade Euro USD, we want to trade USD JPY, we want to trade GBP USD. These are just some examples that we want to trade, and we can create our own list. So I can call this my list, say. If you get advanced, which I don't recommend in the beginning, playing with these advanced settings, but in the advanced settings screen, I'm not going to go into much detail about that right now in this presentation, but essentially it will give you the ability to hone your search even more. For example, at the bottom of the screen, you can see all the different patterns that AutoChartist actually identifies. Right, those are the chart patterns that we identify, and then if you click on Fibonacci patterns, you can actually see all the harmonic patterns, the Fibonacci patterns that we identify, and then you can actually tweak your search criteria to be as kind of as broad or as narrow as you want. So I'm just going to create my search here called My List, which happens to be on 3 instruments, and we give AutoChartist a moment, and it should come back to us with a few opportunities based on, I think it was Euro, GBP, and JPY that are specified. This will take a little bit of time because there's a massive amount of data that AutoChartist needs to get through. So right now, here are the opportunities listed on the bottom of the screen for those 3 major pairs. This opportunity here, USD JPY, AutoChartist has done quite a good job of identifying these support and resistance levels, and it noticed that the JPY has started turning around towards the support level. Personally, I wouldn't trade a pattern like this because I think you need a bit of more of a confirmation move. But anyway, I think it's very clear to see that AutoChartist has done a pretty good job of that identification. Now, in terms of the bottom of the bottom of the screen of the list, I just want to highlight a few things. Now, this is a new pattern that was identified, and you can see that by the age column. If you, let's say, choose an example, which is USD JPY with an age of 10 candles, this is an example that was identified 10 candles ago. And you know that not only because of the age, right, but also you can see if you zoom into that chart by clicking on it, you can actually see the little transparent candles that AutoChartist has drawn. Those are what actually happened to the price after AutoChartist actually made that projection. So it looks as if AutoChartist got the first bit of the move right. The market has pulled back a bit, but it might be turning around now again. But that just gives you an idea. At AutoChartist, we're quite transparent about, you know, what happened. We don't cherry pick or change what we say. So at any point in time, what we try to provide you is a list of opportunities which are relevant in the market right now. Of course, there's an expired trading opportunity section, which if you want to look at, you can look at. Let's actually look at something that has expired. So this is an opportunity that has expired, an opportunity on US dollar Japanese yen, identified quite a while back, and we thought the price was going to go to 102.23, and yeah, it did actually go there, just touched it with a high of one of the candles, then the price turned around again. And so now we say that that trade is expired because it's already hit its target. The other way in which we expire opportunities is if the price goes completely the wrong way and there's no more trade, right? The pattern has been invalidated, therefore we mark it as expired. But you know, if you're just starting out with the OANDA technical analysis platform, I would recommend you just stick to the active trading opportunities section. Now, let's say you actually wanted to place a trade on US dollar Japanese yen, for example. Well, now the next most important question that people ask us, over and above which instrument should I trade and which direction should I trade it in, is where should I set my stop loss and take profit. Now many new traders in the market, they pick a stop loss or a take profit just on some arbitrary number that they come up with, right? They say, okay, I'm going to trade Japanese yen, and I'm going to trade with a 10 pip stop loss at whatever time of day they're trading. Now, I'm going to go ahead and click this volatility analysis section, and I'm going to show you some interesting information. So this is US dollar Japanese yen. My order chart is set to London time. Okay, and so what you can actually clearly see, this is the movement for every hour of the day, right? 0 to 23, and this is the price movement during that time of day. So you can actually clearly see that between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. Japanese yen trades very, very large moves, right? So let me ask you a question: Would a 10 pip stop loss be appropriate for trading at 8 a.m.? So let me ask you another question: Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever gone into a trade, set a stop loss, the price moves against you, hits your stop loss, and then suddenly turns around and goes towards your take profit, but you've been stopped out already, and then you're sitting wondering what just happened? Hey, I made a great forecast, I just set my stop loss at the wrong position. Now, if you're not raising your hands and telling me that's happened to me, then you are lying, okay? Because that happens to everybody, and that's only because you're not setting market appropriate exit levels. So what you need to do is, whatever trading strategy you're using, whether you're using auto charts, chart patterns, or you're using MACDs or Bollinger Bands or stochastics or whatever trading opportunity you're using, I urge you to look at this volatility analysis tool to give you an idea of where to actually set your stop loss and take profits. So more than that, I can actually get an idea of, right now, where does auto charters think the price range is going to be. So if I'm trading US dollar Japanese yen right now, Tuesday, sorry, my time's only set to New York time, Tuesday, 2 o'clock New York time, and I want to hold my position for 4 hours, say, then I shouldn't be setting my stop losses or take profits anywhere within 102.02 and 102.30. Okay, if I set them within that range, I'm going to get knocked out in less than 4 hours, right? That's just an example. So you have a more complete list. If you click on the volatility analysis section on the top of the screen, you can actually go to any pair and actually get the volatility analysis on it. So let's look at euro dollar. So euro dollar, you can see, trades very, very heavily during the London session, right? This is actually entirely the London session. You can see the time here, kind of between 2 a.m. New York to 10 a.m. New York, right? But it trades with an extreme volatility at 8 a.m. New York time, right? Which is this section kind of over here. All right. Now, if you're trading at, at this time over here, if you're trading 9, 10 o'clock at night New York time, 8, 9, 10 at night, you can't set stop losses and take profits around 25 pips because you're going to be holding your position for ages, right? And conversely, if you're trading at 8 a.m. New York, you can't set stop losses at 10 pips or at 8 pips because you're just going to get knocked out of the market immediately. So you have to focus on setting market appropriate stop losses and take profits. So please, whatever you do me a favor, do yourself a favor, just to make sure that you minimize the amount of times you get stop loss, that you get stopped out based on incorrect position sizing or stop loss exit level setting. Just look at your volatility analysis, and you will reduce the amount of time you get knocked out of the market for no apparent reason, just based on noise. So getting back to the trading opportunities, many people obviously ask us as well is, how well does auto charters perform? So there is a performance statistics section listed in Auto Chartist, and before I talk about this section, I just want to let you know that the Auto Chartist performance statistics are not an indication of how much money you're going to make trading based on Auto Chartist. The Auto Chartist stats is just simply a measure of how often we hit our forecast level. Okay, that means that for every trading opportunity that we identify, okay, Um, for every trading opportunity we identify, we provide a target level. And when that we provide that target level, we monitor that opportunity to see how often we've actually hit our target. Now that's very different from knowing how much money you're going to make on the system on the trading platform, because how much money you're going to make depends on your exit strategy, right? Do you use stop losses? Do you use trailing stops? Do you use other technical indicators? What kind of money management strategies do you impose, right? Do you take bigger positions on some instruments, smaller positions on others? There's a lot of factors that go into, how much money you'd actually make. So just to note that performance stats are not how much money you'd make on auto charters, but rather how often we hit our target region. And again, just to appease the lawyers, I have to say that past performance is not indicative of future performance. So on chart patterns on the Forex market, these stats are over a period of the last 6 months or so. We identified about 41,000 opportunities, of which 27,000 hit their target region. Now, that's about 66%, but that's not what I wanted to show you. The important bit to look at is actually to look at the specifics, right? So you're looking at things like the breakdown by the pattern, all right? So we can see that over the last 6 months, head and shoulders and inverse head and shoulders has done really, really well, right? Double tops, double bottoms have done really well. Okay, we had one triple bottom, but yeah, that's 100%, but that's 1 out of 1, right? You can't look at 1 out of 1 as a as a good statistics. And similarly, you need to look at the breakdown per instrument. Okay, so some of them are not over 70, but there's some really, really good ones which are over 70 or very close to 70. Okay, and I urge you to look at these before you place any trade. A very interesting statistic measure of performance is actually the time of day when the support and resistance levels were identified. And you'll primarily notice that support and resistance levels do pretty well in the market when there's heavy trade, a lot of volume, and a lot of volatility. So those are primarily during the London session. The US session may be the center of the world when it comes to stock market trading, but when it comes to the Forex market, London is the center of the world, and trading during London is obviously a lot more volatile than during the US session. We have similar stats on our horizontal support and resistance levels. So there, of the last 6 months, the average stat is over 70%. But the important bit to look at is the breakdown. Which ones have performed really well. Looks like New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc has done really well at 82%. AUD CAD has done really well at 80%. Right? So really what you need to do, and well, I guess that's, maybe I shouldn't impose my way of looking at the markets, but I don't go out looking for trades. I wait for the trades to come to me. So I don't open up my trading terminal and just search for a reason to trade, right? I keep my eye out on my auto charts platform, and I wait for something that I like, and I look at the stats of, and I think, yes, these are reasonable stats, and I think I want to trade this thing. There's always opportunities in the market. If you don't take one this hour, there'll be one coming along next hour. But don't be too quick to jump into opportunities just because you're desperate to put some money down on something. Then you're not trading. Then what you're really doing is gambling. So you can use the performance stats to look at, to evaluate each of the trading opportunities in the trading opportunity section, or you can do what I do, which is look at the our favorite section. So the our favorite section is basically Auto Charters does the work for you of combining the trading opportunities together with the performance statistics and giving you what it thinks is the highest probability opportunities to hit their forecast region based on past performance. Again, I have to tell you, past performance may not be indicative of future performance, right? So you can set your minimum probability to be, let's say, 70. Okay, and Auto Charts will give you the potential opportunities on the market right now with a 70% higher probability of hitting their forecast region. Now, right now we're kind of at the end of the London session, and so the opportunities are few and far between. But if you open the platform up during the London session, this thing will be blinking all the time and bringing up new opportunities for you. But still, we have a number of pretty decent opportunities. Here's something on US dollar, Swiss franc, 4 hourly, GBP, JPY, 60 minutes. Looks like quite a few interesting opportunities. For some reason, this image isn't loading, some kind of error. But anyway, some very interesting opportunities which one could trade. And actually, what I think I'll do is I'll actually show you how I would trade one of these opportunities, and I'll switch to my MetaTrader platform in just a second. I just want to show you one or two small little things. Well, you know what? Maybe I should actually switch to my MetaTrader platform right now and actually show you how to trade some of this stuff. So this is US dollar Swiss franc 4 hourly data. So I can switch to my MetaTrader. US dollar Swiss franc. Let's see if I have a US dollar Swiss franc open. Here it is, US dollar Swiss franc. New chart window. I'll put my 4 hourly. I'll open my 4 hourly chart in. I'll just zoom out a little bit. Now, oh, there you can actually see that pattern right there. Okay, so what you can actually do to actually get the order charters to draw support and resistance lines for you directly on the graph is just download the MT4 plugin, the order charts MT4 plugin from the order charters or the OANDA website. If you don't know how to get hold of that, just drop OANDA a support ticket, or you can drop us a support ticket, support@ordercharters.com, and it'll give you exact details of how to get that plugin. But once you install that plugin, you'll actually get a number of indicators on the left-hand side in your custom indicator section. I don't know if you can see that. There's chart patterns, Fibonacci patterns, key levels, market reports, volatility analysis, and web application. And you can actually just drag and drop those onto the chart. So let me, for example, remove my chart patterns indicator, and I'm going to take my chart patterns indicator, I'm going to drag and drop that. I'm going to make sure that I allow DLL imports, and I'm going to click OK. And Order Charters, the plugin will go to the Order Charters servers and download all the chart patterns for US dollar, Swiss franc, 4 hourly candles. And if all goes according to plan, within a few seconds, you should get all the support and resistance lines drawn all over your graph, which is quite nice because it kind of brings the MetaTrader platform alive. And over here, I don't know if you can see both these opportunities open. You can see that bright green line. That bright green line shows us the same opportunity that we see over here on our Order Charters platform, the web platform. You can see that the resistance levels quite clearly, and Order Charters believes it's going up to 0.9012. So what we could do is we could place a position in the market right now, which I can't do because I have no balance on my account here. But we could place a long position up to 0.9021. Right. Now, what you will also notice is, let me just remove that line for a second. What you will also notice is these funny squiggly. Not squiggly lines, these funny like lines on the right-hand side that say 240 minutes and next 1440 minutes. Those are the volatility analysis information that I was showing you before, right? So Order Charters believes that US dollar Swiss franc will be trading between these levels within the next 4 hours, right? So for example, if you wanted to place a trade right now and not hold your position for more than 4 hours, you could quite easily set your stop losses and take profits at these kind of levels. Now, the interesting part about these kind of levels is they very commonly coincide with other interesting levels in the market. So I'm just going to move that out the way. Now, you'll notice, I've just drawn two lines over here. You'll notice that actually these levels, 0.969, corresponds to the resistance level, but it might even be a better indication of the resistance level than the little green line that Order Charters has drawn. And this price, 0.8991, I might move that a little bit lower to take into account that that kind of movement between support and resistance. But certainly, you can see very strong consolidation at these levels, and Order Chartist has done a pretty good job, I think, of giving you an indication of where the support and resistance is, and where the volatility is going to come over the next few hours. So this is quite an interesting trade that one could possibly take. Of course, the other way of trading order charts is by placing pending orders in the market, right? So for example, one could actually say, you know what, I'm not going to trade this position right now up to this resistance level. I'm going to wait for a breakout. Let's say I'm going to wait for the price to hit 0.90142 and then place a position long, right? So you don't have to place the trade right now. You could actually wait for a breakout and then place the position. Right? So completely up to you of how you want to trade it, but I think there's no arguing the fact that Order Chartist has identified that very interesting resistance level. Now, I've gone over my 30 minutes, my 30 allocated minutes, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly switch back to my Order Chartist platform, and I just want to show you one or two small areas which might be of interest to you in the platform. The first section I want to show you is this messaging and alert section, where you have the ability to subscribe to, excuse me, you have the ability to subscribe to a snapshot in your inbox on once, twice, or 3 times a day. So if you subscribe to this market report, we call it a market report, you will get a snapshot in your inbox that looks something like this. It gives you, some opportunities. They're actually medium to longer term opportunities with a bit of a write-up. And those will be sent to your inbox. You don't have to actually go into the platform to see what the outlook is or the technical outlook is for the market. Right, so you can actually get an idea of what's going on. And OANDA has enabled you to with 2 different reports. One is called the market report, and another one is called the FX market report. The FX one obviously focuses purely on FX, and the general market report provides you forecasts on a lot of different indices and CFDs that OANDA provides. Now, if you put your email address in, let's just say I want to subscribe to the market report, I would choose which session I want to subscribe to it in, right? Asian session is before the open of Tokyo, European session is before the open of London, and the US session is before the open of New York. I can also decide on which language, one or many languages, that I want to subscribe to the report in, right? So if your first language is not English, you can subscribe in any other language. You put your email address in and you click save, and the next time a report is generated, it will be sent to you. Now, don't worry about being spammed, because if you don't like that report, at the bottom of the email that gets sent to you is an unsubscribe link. You click on that and you won't get a report again. So give it a try it out and see if you like those reports. Certainly saves me a lot of time. I just have an overview of the market every morning. The last section that I want to show you on the platform is the resources and education section, where you will have 5 or 6 minute videos on the bottom right hand side, talking about each of the products and the tools in more depth. Right. Today's presentation that I've given you is very, very brief, very shallow. Right. So this will give you more depth into each of the sections. It gives you instrument coverage, a user manual, some forex tools, and a quick introductory video. Of course, on the top right-hand side of Order Chartist, you can change your the language setting, as well as the time zone in which you want to see the Order Chartist platform. So I hope I've given you a very brief, but enough of an overview to show you the power of the Order Chartist platform, and I'd like to open up the questions window to see what questions have come up and what questions I can answer to everyone. Okay, so first things, Robert has asked, can you get Order Chartist to work with an FX trade platform like MT4? So the order chartist does not plug into the FX Trade platform at this stage. The only thing we can do with regards to the FX Trade platform is to actually place positions on it. So if there's a position that you like on the order chartist platform and you want to place it right now without opening up your FX Trade account, FX Trade platform, you can just click on FX Trade now. And when you click that, a little window pops up, and you can just put in your username and password, which it will remember, and then you can just place your position right from Auto Chartist. But it doesn't link into the charts directly into FX Trade at this time. The only plugin we have right now is with MetaTrader. Okay, and the next question, and I can't see the name there exactly. It's Maud, I think. I hope I have pronounced that correctly. So Maud, you asked what time frame does Auto Charts work on? It works on any time frame that you choose it to work on. So for mine is set to America, New York. If you're in, let's say, Europe, London, you can set yours to Europe, London, as I'm doing in mine right now. I click it, and then everything will change to Europe, London. Okay, so you can see my identified time now of this pattern that I've got on my screen right now is 7:30 p.m. If I switch back to America, New York, which is where I was before, if I can find that, there it is, then you can see my identified time is 2:30. Maud, thank you very much for explaining. What you mean, not what time zone, but what time frames? Okay, so daily time frames. Right. Sorry, I misunderstood your questions. So it works on 15-minute, 30-minute, 60-minute, 4-hourly, and 24-hourly candles. Okay, so it doesn't work on anything less than 15 minutes. I hope that that answers your questions, Maud. Now, I don't have many more questions coming through, so what I want to quickly do is I want to switch back to the presentation, because there's the email address that you can email for support, support@autochartist.com. We normally take about 24 hours to respond to support, because primary support or first line support happens through OANDA. So you're welcome to support to email the OANDA help desk for any support, and if they can't answer your question, then obviously they'll escalate that through to us. But if you want to talk directly to us, you're more than welcome to. Just drop us an email, support@autochartist.com. So Jacqueline, you asked how do we, before I go, you asked how do we change the time zone on Auto Chartist. So let me quickly switch back to my Auto Chartist platform. You just on the top right hand side, you just click on the time zone drop down. I hope you can see that on my screen, and you can just select the time zone that you live in. Most major cities and continents are supported on that platform. Okay, so with that, I think we've concluded today's webinar. There will be a recording of this webinar going up, and I'm sure that the kind people at OANDA will be sending you all a link to that webinar, seeing as you attended and subscribed to this webinar session. And our next webinar will be in a few weeks' time, where we're going to start talking about more in-depth strategies around trading support and resistance levels, and certainly setting stop losses and take profits. And at those webinars, I think you're going to get a much more hands-on approach as to how to actually use the tool to actually place trades. Thank you everybody for your time and for joining me today. Have a nice day. Goodbye.